Back in 2012, the World Endurance Championship was reintroduced as a replacement for the International Le Mans Cup. It kept the spirit of global endurance racing alive, running 8 races across iconic circuits including Spa, Fuji, and of course Le Mans. With high-tech hypercars, factory-supported efforts from some of the biggest automotive brands in the world, and intense multi-class formats, the World Endurance Championship has become a true proving ground for both man and machine. Now I've stumbled on one of the coolest mods I've seen. It takes some teams I've already made videos with and fully overhauls the F124 grid with the World Endurance Championship contenders, creating a hybrid motorsport I'll be calling Formula WEC. Now here's what the new grid will look like. Porsche replaces Red Bull, Toyota takes over McLaren, BMW steps in for Mercedes, Cadillac replaces Haas, Team Jota swaps in for Racing Bulls, Peugeot returns to replace Williams, and Lamborghini takes the Kick Sauber spot. And on top of that, Ferrari, Aston Martin and Alpine have all been converted to their WEC teams as well. I've added an 11th team of Ford just to see how they'd stack up in this crazy new world. So for the very last time, I loaded up F124 and simulated through the next 10 seasons of the newest hybrid motorsport to find some new race winners, wild new rivalries, and some unexpected champions. But before we begin, F125 is just around the corner, so make sure you're subscribed and turn the notifications on to be informed when the new videos on the brand new game will come out. The first Constructors' Championship sees the new Toyota team finishing on top, ahead of the reworked Ferrari and the Porsche team, going all the way down to Lamborghini, who will find themselves in last place. Now having a look at the Drivers' Championship, as George Russell finishes just shy of the top 3. The top 3 of the Drivers' Championship will see the same result as the 2024 F1 season, with Charles Leclerc taking his new Ferrari to 3rd place, Lando Norris drives his Toyota Gazoo racing car to runner-up, while Max Verstappen is able to take yet another Drivers' Championship while driving for the Porsche team. The standings were pretty close, with Verstappen winning 6 races, while Lando Norris would win 5, with a 20-point gap after 16 races. Charles Leclerc was able to win 3 races this year, with George Russell taking his BMW car to 2 race wins. Now just a single driver move at the end of the first season, as Kevin Magnussen makes his inevitable retirement, leaving the Cadillac team to bring in Théo Pourchaire for his debut. However, there will be some regulation changes, with both the chassis and powertrain departments being hit for next year. The second season doesn't see much change, with both Toyota and Ferrari remaining as the top 2 in the standings. The bottom half of the championship did see some more movement, with both Peugeot and Lamborghini teams moving up 2 places. The reigning champion of Max Verstappen wasn't able to retain his title and fell down to P5, while Charles Leclerc would manage to stay in 3rd place. The Toyota driver of Lando Norris will remain in 2nd place, this time finishing behind his teammate as Oscar Piastri becomes the latest world champion. Now despite the points deficit, Norris would actually manage to take a whopping 7 race wins, while his teammate of Piastri would only secure 4. Charles Leclerc would stay on the same level as he did last season, taking 3 race wins, with both BMW drivers taking a race win each, unlike Max Verstappen, who isn't able to win a single race this season. Very little driver moves once again after Pierre Gasly is set to retire, with Alex Albon moving to Alpine, while Peugeot signed Dennis Hauger to make his debut next year. Toyota are pulling away, winning yet another Constructors' Championship, this time ahead of BMW and Porsche, as Ferrari drop down to 4th place. Peugeot also have a massive fall as they lose 4 positions and end this season in P10. The Drivers' Championship doesn't see much of a shake-up, with Verstappen moving up to 4th and Leclerc falling to 5th. 3rd place this season will go to the BMW driver of George Russell, while his teammate finishes down in P6. The top 2 are once again the same, as Lando Norris falls just short of his teammate Oscar Piastri, who takes yet another Drivers' Championship. He would win more races than Norris this season, with Piastri's 6 race wins compared to Norris's 5. Both BMW drivers would continue to improve to win 2 races each, with Max Verstappen returning to the top step of the podium just once. The Lamborghini driver of Valtteri Bottas has decided to retire at the end of this year, with Nico Hülkenberg jumping over for future seasons. Oliver Behrmann moves over to join Haas, while Ford signed Jack Doohan for his debut next year. There will also be some large regulation changes, these affecting their aerodynamics, chassis and durability department. Midway through this season, Alpine decided to drop Alex Albon after just a year and a half, with Logan Sargent making the same move over to Alpine, and Enzo Fittipaldi being brought in to make his debut with Peugeot for the last half of the season. For the 4th time in this simulation, Toyota finish at the top of the standings, with the Porsche team moving back to 2nd, while Ford make the biggest jump up to P6 by overtaking Alpine, Jota and Lamborghini. George Russell falls out with the top 3 as Max Verstappen moves back up to finishing in 3rd place, behind once again the Toyota drivers. Norris finishes just 30 points ahead of Verstappen, but loses out on 100 points to Oscar Piastri, who wins yet another driver's title. His 9 race wins were nowhere near contested after Norris would only be able to take 5 race wins, while Russell continues to win just twice. Now, there's plenty of driver moves as a result of BMW deciding George Russell isn't good enough and would prefer to have Logan Sargent partner Hamilton. Jack Doohan makes his eventual move to Alpine, with Ford signing Sergio Perez to try and continue their progress. Charles Leclerc jumps ship to join Porsche, while Alex Albon returns to drive for Ferrari. Daniel Ricciardo is set to leave Team Jota, with Victor Martins making his debut next year. Peugeot and Aston Martin will swap drivers, and Lamborghini signed Dennis Hauger to replace Nico Hülkenberg. Jehan Daruvala is then brought in by Peugeot as the newest Formula WEC driver. No major changes in the standings as Toyota remain as the champions, Porsche remain as runners-up, and BMW fall to P5, being overtaken by Ferrari and Ford. The top 3 of the Drivers' Championship remains the same as Max Verstappen finishes 3rd with his Porsche team, while the Toyota drivers finish at the top. This season, Lando Norris is even further away from Oscar Piastri after finishing with a gap of over 130 championship points. Piastri would be very dominant this year to finish the season with 13 race wins, while Lando Norris wins just twice, and Alex Albon takes his first race win while driving for Ferrari. Max Verstappen is now the latest driver to retire, with George Russell coming in to sign for Porsche. Sergio Perez is dropped by Ford in favour of Carlos Sainz, with the multiple-time champion Oscar Piastri leaving his successful team in favour of Ferrari. Nico Hülkenberg, someone who I thought had retired, is then brought in by the championship-winning Toyota team. Logan Sargent is dropped by BMW after a terrible year which saw him finish in P14, with Jack Doohan moving to the German team. Daruvala then becomes the newest driver to leave Peugeot for Alpine, as Frederic Vesti is set to make his debut with Peugeot next year. Moving on to shorter seasons now to reduce how long these videos take to make and also to prevent mid-season moves, but we'll still see the Toyota team finish at the very top, with Ford and Ferrari reuniting that famous rivalry as they swap positions. Now, after quite a few driver transfers, Oscar Piastri is only able to finish in P6 in his new Ferrari car, while both Porsche drivers finish with 105 points, just missing out on the top 3. 3rd place this season will then be achieved by Carlos Sainz, marking Ford's first taste of success. The top 2 will still be both Toyota drivers, with Nico Hülkenberg taking P2, while his teammate Lando Norris finally manages to take his first title, but had to wait for Piastri to leave. He would be pretty dominant this year, taking 7 out of 10 race wins, while Carlos Sainz and George Russell would add another victory to their tally. The newest Toyota driver of Nico Hülkenberg is also able to take his first ever race podium, as well as a race win to top it off. Now, the only 2 driver moves at the end of the season will be Sergio Perez replacing the retiring Lando Norris, who himself pulls a Nico Rosberg. BMW seem to be a little bit confused, as they drop Jack Doohan and bring back Logan Sargent. Now, there will be some more regulation changes coming into effect, with the aerodynamics, powertrain and durability departments all being changed once again. Now, it may have taken 7 seasons in this simulation, but a team other than Toyota have won the Constructors' Championship, with Ford overtaking Toyota to win the title. Team Jota also make a remarkable improvement, gaining 5 positions to finish in 3rd place. Both of the Porsche drivers fall multiple positions, Nico Hülkenberg falls to P5, and Yuki Tsunoda makes an appearance in the top 3 as he manages to drag his Jota car to 3rd place. Sergio Perez makes an unforgettable return to take the runner-up position in this new Toyota car, while Carlos Sainz is able to take his first ever Drivers' Championship with Ford after not having much success at Ferrari. He will manage to take a total of 7 race wins, much like Norris last year, while Tsunoda managed to win his first races, and Nico Hülkenberg adds another race win to his career total. BMW face even more difficulties this season, after Lewis Hamilton decides to retire and Zhou Guanyu moves across. Daniel Ricciardo makes a shocking return after his what seemed to be retirement at the end of Season 4, and will now drive for Lamborghini. Toyota do return to winning ways after Ford fall to 3rd after being overtaken by the Porsche team as well, who make up 3 places over Jota and Ferrari too. The Drivers' Championship was a lot closer this year, with just 31 points separating the top 4. Former champion Carlos Sainz falls to 3rd place this season, with both Toyota drivers returning to secure a 1-2. The runner-up this season will see Nico Hülkenberg fall just short by 0 points, as Sergio Perez becomes the latest Drivers' Champion. Both Toyota drivers did finish on 152 points, but 4 wins for Perez compared to 3 for Hülkenberg sees the title handed to the Mexican driver. Carlos Sainz continued to show some success after winning twice, with Yuki Tsunoda also winning a single race. BMW will once again lose a driver to retirement and make the unexpected decision to sign Jack Doohan. Carlos Sainz is set to leave the Ford team and the sport as a whole, with Yuki Tsunoda moving to Ford, while Ayumu Iwasa is brought in to drive for Team Jota, alongside some major regulation changes to all 3 performance departments for the penultimate season. And those major changes did see the biggest shake-up in the Constructors' Championship, with Toyota falling down to 4th, while Ferrari gained 4 positions to take their first title since 2008. BMW make a big move up the standings, while Ford plummet down to finish in 7th place. The driver standings also see a major shake-up, with a Toyota driver falling as low as P9. Hulkenberg is only able to finish in P6, with George Russell returning to the top 3, finishing 3rd while driving for Porsche. His teammate Charles Leclerc is able to finish as the runner-up, behind his former team as Oscar Piastri once again returns to championship glory, this time driving in red. Piastri's title would be a result of 7 race wins, while Leclerc, Albon and Iwasa all secure a single race win each. Esteban Ocon has been quiet all video and decides to retire, with Jack Doohan returning to Alpine. BMW will once again need to sign a new driver, and they take Yuki Tsunoda away from Ford, who in turn signed Charles Leclerc away from Porsche. Former champion, former Ford driver, and former teammate of Leclerc, of Carlos Sainz, is then set to drive for Porsche in the final season. The final season will see the Toyota team returning to win another Constructors' Championship, after Ferrari fall down to 4th place. Team Jota improved to P2, while Ford gained 4 positions to finish in 3rd. Now the former champion of Oscar Piastri falls to 4th place this season, with Ayumu Iwasa making his first appearance to take his Jota car to 3rd place. Both Toyota drivers will once again finish with a 1-2, but Sergio Perez isn't able to add another title to his record, as his teammate Nico Hulkenberg has an incredible season to win his first ever Drivers' Championship. His 5 race wins produced a 49-point lead over Perez, who would only be able to win twice himself. Both Ford drivers of Charles Leclerc and Gabriel Bortoleto secure race wins, with Ayumu Iwasa also managing just a single race win. Now that brings to the end of 10 seasons of Formula WEC and also the end of F1 24. Before we have a look at the 10 seasons as a whole, I just want to say a huge thank you to everyone who supported the channel during this year, and I hope you stick around for F1 25. Now this simulation provided 3 different Constructors' Champions, with both Ferrari and Ford winning 1 each, while the Toyota team managed to dominate and win a total of 8 championships. There was a total of 6 different Drivers' Champions, with Verstappen, Norris, Carlos Sainz, Nico Hulkenberg and Sergio Perez all winning a Formula WEC World Drivers' Championship, and there would also be Oscar Piastri, who win a total of 5 titles to dominate the sport across the decade. Now a total of 13 different drivers would secure a race win, with Bortoleto being the only one to end with just 1. Ayumu Iwasa and Alex Albon were both able to win twice, Tsunoda and Hamilton won 3 times each, while Sergio Perez was able to win 6 times. Max Verstappen would only win 7 races, while George Russell and Charles Leclerc ended the simulation with 8 wins each. Hulkenberg and Carlos Sainz would both win 10 races, Norris would win 31, despite only winning 1 title, Piastri's dominance ending at 39 race wins. But that is going to wrap up today's video, and if you enjoyed this video, make sure to drop a like and subscribe if you haven't already. I do really want to try and hit 10,000 subscribers at some point this year, so if you're not already, please press the subscribe button to show your support. There will be links in the description for all my various social media, including my Discord server, which is the best way to receive updates about uploads, but also to talk to me and other viewers of the channel. But that's going to be all from me today, so I hope you have a good day, evening or night, and I'll see you in F1 25.